up? A Cinema Shogun here, and what is it with Disney and groomers? You know, back in the day, you would see the Disney logo on a movie, and you would automatically know that it was going to be a quality film. Parents would see the Disney logo, and they would know, okay, this is something that's safe for me to put on for my kids to watch. I don't even have to worry about the content because the Disney logo means this movie is family friendly. Well, nowadays, when I see the Disney logo, I automatically know that this movie is going to be filled with political propaganda, identity politics, and a push to introduce kids to different sexualities. Where and when did this start? I think a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about this. Hell, living down in Florida, whenever there's a sting operation to bring in a bunch of child-loving creepos, I can't say the word, a bunch of chomos, when they round up a bunch of these predators, there's always a handful of Disney employees in the bunch as well. It's really weird. But it's obvious that Disney has just been really adamant about pushing this agenda lately. And constantly, people within Disney are getting exposed. And now, an actor that worked on the Ms.Marvel show is getting exposed. And allegedly, he was grooming and I can't say a lot of these words, but here's the headline right here. Ms.Marvel star accused of SHing and G'ing a minor. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop right into the article. Actor Mohan Kapur is known for playing the father of Kamala Khan in the Disney Plus series Ms.Marvel. Now, the Ms.Marvel star has been accused of both SH and G'ing a minor. They almost got me. As noted via Bounding to Comics, Twitter user NayaX3 made the accusations on November 27th. She claims to have been the victim of Mohan Kapur and posted screenshots of their alleged conversation as evidence. She began her story with a tweet that stated the following. When I was 14 years old, I was a fan of this serial actress and we became friends, she wrote. Her partner at that time, Mohan Kapur, also became friends with me. I respected the both of them almost like second parents and told them about my stressful life. But Mohan Kapur took advantage of me. Although they didn't indicate who their partner was, it's assumed by many to be Indian soap opera H. Kaur. I can't pronounce any of these names. The MCU actor dated her for 16 years until they ultimately broke up in 2015. The alleged victim continued to explain that she constantly talked with Mohan Kapur. We constantly talked until I noticed he started flirting with me. Then when I was 15 years old, Mohan Kapur sent me, Mohan Kapur sent me dick pics. Whoa. He was apologizing nonstop and was depressed. I forgave him. And after that, he continued to harass me. She added the following examples of harassment and how she realized he was allegedly grooming her. Said things like how he was in love with me, wanted to marry me, wanting me to grow up with him, and can't wait for me to get older so I can sleep with him. Now I know that Mohan Kapur was grooming me. Additionally, the alleged victim claims that his partner at the time also knew of his actions. His partner, now ex, knew the type of man he was. She was aware that he was talking to me. When I met her in person, I told her everything that was happening. A year later, I stopped talking to her after she started gaslighting me. I was so depressed about the situation. She further elaborated how Mohan Kapur's partner allegedly didn't care at all about what was going on. She told me how I threw my baggage on her. I really truly felt this woman didn't care at all for what Mohan Kapur was doing to me. Next, the alleged victim explained that the emotional impact of what the emotional impact of the experience was like. I was so confused and depressed. I'm not sure if it's Stockholm Syndrome or what, but I kept thinking that all of this was my fault, and I kept wanting to be his friend again. I kept on thinking that he truly cared about me, but he didn't. It reached a point where she began to consider taking herself out the game. My depression got worse, and I was planning on taking my own self out. I kept on calling Mohan Kapur. He would ignore my calls, and at times told me to get over it, then completely twist the whole story to make me look like the bad person. He kept on saying that he couldn't trust me. She decided to reach out to Mohan Kapur for the last time. The last time I talked to Mohan Kapur was 2020, and I was crying. I said I really can't take this anymore, hoping that he would apologize and understand the trauma that he had caused. She continued. Instead, he told me that he can't trust me, and that the only way he could ever trust me again is if I hop on video chat and send nudes to him in order to be friends with him again. At this point, she locked her account, which made most tweets difficult to uncover. However, there were additional statements directed at Mohan Kapur. Mohan Kapur, when I stand up for myself, you gaslight me and blame me for misconstruing chat. And your reason for asking me for my nudes was that you can prove your innocence? Does that even make any sense, Mohan? She wrote this statement to illustrate her thoughts on a conversation she shared next. It was a screenshot which included text from both her and Mohan Kapur. Here's what was stated. Naya, why do you ask me to send you nudes, Kapur? To keep as proof your intentions. You have misconstrued our conversations to make it sound that I was sexually... I can't say this word. That I was SHing you. I have all the stuff myself too. I don't say things because that's not what friends do, and I won't either. Since these allegations of SHing against the Ms.Marvel actor Mohan Kapur has now locked his Twitter account. Although many social media users have targeted the Ms.Marvel actor over the allegations, there remains to be there has still not been any official response from Kapur, and there has been no official response from Marvel or Disney, although that may change and the story is still going on. Now, what does that sound like to you all? Obviously, he was grooming that young woman if the allegations are true. Now, she provided text messages. She came with receipts. Are those receipts real? I believe her. I believe her. The crazy part is, it's radio silence from Disney, radio silence from Marvel. They're not saying anything about this. Why? Well, we know that they basically support people who do stuff like this, but also, I find it so hilarious how quickly Disney was to fire Gina Carano. Gina Carano posted a tweet that wasn't even controversial, a tweet that plenty of other people tweeted, a tweet just like a tweet that a fellow co-star of hers on The Mandalorian tweeted. They fired her and they publicly shamed her. Here we have someone who's allegedly grooming a child, and instead of taking any actions, instead of speaking out about it, it's radio silence. These allegations have become popular online ever since November 27th? And I would have to do some digging. I'm sure that these allegations were probably out there before that. So it's been a couple of weeks now, and Disney is still saying nothing. Now with Gina Carano, they fired her, boom. Publicly tried to humiliate her. They defamed her. Yet we have a groomer that was allowed to work on the set of Ms.Marvel with other young women at that. Ms.Marvel, I don't know how many of you all watched the show, but it's basically Marvel's youngest superhero. A young woman. And they allowed this guy to go on the set and work with her. Maybe they didn't know about the allegations then, but they damn sure know about the allegations now, and they have yet to say anything. But that doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all. Because people like Disney and what they've been doing lately, they've been empowering people like this guy who is accused of all of this stuff, and they've been protecting people like this guy who has been accused of all of this stuff. So calling it out and publicly and not acknowledging what happened is against their agenda. You see, people like Disney, they don't even want the word groomer to be able to be used online. In fact, the reason why I was hesitant on saying that word is because YouTube doesn't want to allow it either. And because I said that word multiple times in this video, they won't share this video in the algorithm. But that's how social media works. Because social media is constantly empowering, emboldening, and protecting people who do crazy, weird, harmful things to kids, while simultaneously silencing people who call it out. So this doesn't come as a surprise to me at all, that this is happening with a Disney actor. And it doesn't surprise me that Disney has said nothing. Now, will they continue to be silent? I think we should start making some noise about this story. We need to really make noise about this story. We got someone who allegedly was asking a child for nudes, and he's working on a show with kids. I think that we need to make a lot of noise about this. And if Disney doesn't say anything, then that shows you where they stand. But even if they do say something now, the silence up until this point, it shows you where it stands. If something like this comes out and they try to, we're going to see how we're going to play our cards. If the story becomes big, then we'll have to acknowledge it. But hopefully it may just blow over, because things like this blow over all the time because the mainstream media ignores it, which is why I find it important to start exposing stuff like this on this YouTube channel. So not only will I be reviewing movies and stuff like that, it's time to expose Hollywood for the frauds that they are. It's time to expose a lot of the sick and twisted stuff that is going on in Hollywood. And it's time to expose this agenda to not only introduce your kids to a lot of weird stuff, but basically to just indoctrinate your kids so they can have easier access to your kids. But let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I will talk to you all in the next video.